Hello and welcome to
Get Real with the
English Sisters. Welcome everyone.
Welcome.
Do you find that you underestimate yourself?
Yeah, that is a big cause of
Do you think
anxiety,
that
I
other
think.
people seem to be able to do more than you?
Yeah.
That's a question I think you can ask yourself.
What other people are doing more than you're doing, and why aren't you doing it, sort of thing.
Why aren't you doing it, and why aren't you capable of doing it?
You are capable. Probably.
If
you work hard enough to do it.
What's stopping you from doing it? I think we've all had that at one point or other in our lives where we've underestimated our own
Capabilities. Absolutely. You have to push past it, don't you?
I think so. It's a bit like fake it till you make it.
Yeah. I mean, if you think of us when we wrote our first book, who were we? We weren't authors.
No.
We thought, how many times would we think, what are we doing?
We struggle with it a bit.
We struggled a lot. We thought, why are we doing this? I did. I remember thinking, God, I don't know how to write. But then...
we'd already studied NLP like that, so we knew about limiting beliefs, and we knew that there was things, we knew the question to ask is what was stopping us.
Yes, exactly.
And we found that nothing was stopping us from giving it a go.
I think so, yeah. The fact that we were together probably really helped as well, because I think if you're alone, maybe self-doubt can become even a bigger part of your brain, this self-talking yourself out of things.
I think a good thing is that when you catch yourself talking yourself, if you think you can do something and then you catch yourself talking yourself out of it, it means you already have to talk yourself out of it, which means that you're already capable of doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's like what you said to me once. If you're thinking you can do it, it's because you can do it.
Because you can do it. Like if you think, I want to be on TV, I want to have my television show. Like now we've got this. We used to have this big dream of having our TV show. I mean, why not? It could still happen.
Yes.
And so
we've got a podcast show.
We've got a podcast show, yeah. And we used to think, and then sometimes we think, no, we can't do that. But then we think, no, why are we even thinking about this? It's because it's sort of natural to us.
And why are we different to other people that do have it?
Yeah, and why are we underestimating ourselves, thinking we can't do this? Of course we can. I think you need to overcome those kind of thoughts.
I think you have to overcome them. Absolutely.
That's what I just said. Don't try and be clever. We know you have to overcome them, but the thing is you have to learn that you've got them in the first place. You have to become aware. The whole thing about mental health is just simply becoming aware of your feelings, what you're thinking, your emotions, what the hell is going on in your own little brain that's telling you... Or big brain,
because our brains are a lot bigger than what we use them.
Well, that's what they say, yes. Yes, indeed.
I mean, they used to say we only use 10% of our brains, but they don't say that anymore because they say we do use it. But yes, it's
plasticity of the mind.
But I think there is so much that we're capable of that we don't do.
We don't do
And the funny thing about the brain is that it expands with the more that you know. That sometimes when you think you can't do something because you're overwhelmed or it just seems too difficult a task, what's really difficult is not the fact that you're not doing it. It's the fact that you're stopping yourself from doing it. That's the difficult thing. If you actually start doing
working on stopping yourself, all the effort
on stopping yourself from doing it and thinking that you can't do it, that if you actually did it, you feel great, and the more you do, the more you feel you can do.
Exactly.
And the more inspiring it becomes.
Yeah, self-doubt is exhausting for you. It causes anxiety. It's all this fear and all these yucky emotions going on. Like if you think you can do an audition and your dream is to be in theatre or something, go ahead and do it to the best of your possibilities, and then you've given it a shot.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, there's nothing worse than regret, is there?
No.
Thinking, I wish I had
done that. Yeah, but
I wish I'd tried to do it.
I underestimated myself, and I never did it in the end. To estimate yourself is actually to give yourself worth.
To give yourself esteem.
Esteem, yeah. Estimate comes from the Latin, estimare. That word is, how much do you actually literally, weigh yourself up. Well, what is your worth? What do you think you are worth? You know, and do you think and how can you get this more self-esteem? How can you learn to
By doing.
By doing, exactly. So it's a bit
It's
of
a little bit of
again.
it's a little bit of an effort
It is.
that you have to do.
That was
It's
a bit
like
of an effort for you to say,
It's
wasn't
like a
it?
little hurdle that you have to jump over.
Yeah.
But once you do, you'll find that the other side is a lot nicer.
It's a lot nicer because then you look behind and you say, wow, I did that. And then your self-esteem grows because you did it, whatever it was, the exam or the
Yeah,
your
and a
dream
lot of
or-
the times you do fail, or it takes a long time.
Yeah, failure is, there is no failure, only
I
feedback.
think you just
That's
keep
the-
going. That's
Yes.
the trick.
Yeah, the trick is there's feedback, massive feedback from that failure. And that's also the NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming learning that we had years ago when they used to say that all the time. There is no failure, only feedback. I didn't understand it much at first, and then I realised it. I thought, yeah, you put it into practice.
Because you don't fail at it. You only get the feedback from
you
it.
learn from it. You learn. I mean, that's
Every
the whole
experience
life.
is a learning experience,
Yeah, really,
basically.
yeah.
Means.
So whether the meeting went well or the audition went well or you got you to be on TV or whatever, there is no failure. There's only feedback. So you learn from it. You're learning.
Learning and growing.
You're learning and growing.
And the more you grow, the more powerful you become.
Well, the more you become empowered, don't you? I think, powerful, empowered. You learn to put more worth into yourself, more esteem. You estimate your own person as a more valuable person. Thus you treat yourself with more value, with more respect.
You give yourself more self-worth.
You do indeed.
And then in turn, people value you more.
They
give
do,
you
because
more
they
worth.
think, gosh, they value themselves. There must be something. There must be something
I want
here.
a bit of that.
Well, yeah, I want a bit of that. Or let me listen to what they're saying because they seem to value themselves enough. I mean, look at us. We're doing this podcast. We value ourselves enough to do this podcast.
Absolutely.
So, it's about learning to overcome that self-doubt, isn't it? Learning to
overcome the self-criticism, I think.
Yeah.
Thinking that you're not good enough to do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but why not? Why shouldn't it be you?
Why shouldn't it be you?
Yeah, if someone else is doing it, I mean, they're humans too. It's not as if they come from outer space or something.
No, they're no Martians.
They've just learned. They put the work in. They've learned how to do it. And they're doing it.
Exactly. So if they can
it's really easy. If you think about it logically like that, it's really easy. But it's how
you can model them.
Yeah, it's how you've been. Let's see if I've got an ant in my back. It's how you. There's ants in my house today.
God, there was so many ants in my kitchen. Don't talk to me about ants.
I get itchy
Honestly.
all of a sudden.
They will fill the whole kitchen with
everywhere.
ants. Oh, good Lord. No.
What are you laughing at?
About the ants. I didn't even want to think about them.
I had loads of them today.
I think it's just that time of year, isn't it? It's just the ant kind of year.
What
were we talking about? Oh yeah, do you underestimate yourself?
I think, look, most people do, let's face it. I think the top 10% don't. I think nearly everyone else does.
Gosh, that's
It's
so
sad.
sad.
It is sad, yeah.
Imagine a world where everybody, gave themselves the esteem that was their deserved esteem, their deserved worth. Imagine that. Imagine growing up in that ideal world where everyone was...
Paul McKenna's got he's got audio where he says, imagine growing up in that ideal world where
you were nurtured. Yeah.
Where you were given the confidence you needed to be able to do anything you wanted to do.
Yeah, maybe we can do that for ourselves now, as
can
adults.
Nurture ourselves.
Yeah. You can nurture yourself now.
You think of yourself as a garden. It's what you plant in it that grows.
Exactly.
And how you water it.
and how much you care and how much you give your self-worth, you can do it. I mean, that might sound cheesy, but you can.
Well, it's
Or
always
corny,
cheesy because
but who
all of
cares?
these things are cheesy because people say they're cheesy because they don't want us to have enough. They want to put
Because
us down.
vulnerability can be a bit cheesy.
No, it's
you know.
because people want to put us down. It's convenient for society to put people down to keep them in their place.
Is that why you think the
bit
word
of a
corny
rant.
and cheesy?
Well, yeah, because why? How comes everything that's lovely or nice or emotional becomes corny and cheesy? If you think about it, why does it? When those are the real things, they're the real things that make
they're the
people
only things
cry
that
and
really
make people
count in
smile
life.
and laugh.
Exactly. At the end of it, when you're there and they're
And
going to
they're
put
always
you...
the cheesy things.
Yeah, you're about to die and you look back in your life, not going to think, oh yeah, I helped my boss get that, I was successful at that meeting. You're probably going to think of something else, aren't you, in that moment?
I think you probably think, yeah, I did good in this world. I was a loving parent. I had a lot of love surrounding me, or I
Yeah.
managed to do what I wanted to do. I followed my dreams, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I imagine you think. That's probably what I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's like that film again when the meteor strikes. I can't remember. Don't Look Up. In the end, they just wanted to be next to each
Be
other,
together,
surrounded, and have a
yeah.
meal together, and just love each other, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so maybe if you do things with love, the self-esteem will come and you won't underestimate yourself. It's because I think people don't treat... If we were all treated with love at school and nurtured and
Well, that's what I was saying. That would be the ideal world, wouldn't it?
But that's how we probably wouldn't underestimate ourselves, and we wouldn't have all this fear surrounding us. Because from when you're little, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You're not good enough at that. Only certain people can do that.
That was certainly like that in our school when we grew up. Gosh.
Maybe it's not like that
No,
anymore.
maybe
but I
it's
bet
not.
it is.
We're talking about years ago, but when we were little, but I remember thinking...
Maybe now it's the opposite and you can do anything you want, and then it's disillusional because it's really difficult doing anything you want as well. Because not everyone can be a Mozart or not everyone
There's so
can
much
be
pressure. But I do remember saying to my English literature teacher, yes, I love writing. I used to really enjoy story writing and writing these little stories. And she would say, yes, it's very difficult though, isn't it? Yes, you can. Sort of never said, yeah, go for it. You like writing. Do you know what I mean? Come on. Give the horse a carrot or whatever. I mean, come on. It doesn't, if you are a teacher out there and you're listening, you can really change these young people's lives, can't you?
Of course. But I think the best teachers do.
I think they do, yeah. Obviously, they're the ones we all remember, the best ones.
The best ones.
But you can get teachers from any place, really.
Well, nowadays you can.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just in the learning environment. Yeah,
It can be on YouTube in a podcast.
It can be, yeah. You can
We
learn
learn
anywhere.
so much from podcasts, don't we? We
Gosh,
love
yes.
them.
We do love them, yes.
It's like a never-ending education.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it really is. So what are the 3 things you can do now to stop underestimating yourself? Number 1.
What is stopping you?
To think, what's stopping me? I think that's a really good one. So you have to ask yourself the question, what's stopping me? And what if you say, because I'm not good enough? And
You're always good enough.
Oh,
You might not have enough education.
that's so sweet.
You might not have the education. You might not have the skills. You might not have this, but you're always good enough to try at least.
Yeah, that's
To
really
follow,
sweet.
especially to follow your dreams. You're
good
always
enough.
good enough to follow your dreams.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have it in the first place.
Exactly. You wouldn't even think of it.
You wouldn't. It wouldn't come into your brain system. It wouldn't even be there if you didn't think you could do it.
Yeah.
That's true. So if you're thinking about it and you're dreaming,
just
it's because
remember,
you're always good enough for
what's
it.
stopping me? I'm always good enough.
And then what's number 2?
Number 3. No, number 2. What's stopping me? I'm always
No,
good enough.
that's number 1. Don't try and cheat out of it. Number 1 is...
I'm always good enough is number 2.
Oh, is that number 2? Okay. So I thought, what's stopping me? And then the answer was, because I said, what's stopping me is because I'm not good enough. And then you said, no, you are always good enough. So that's number 2 then. So what's stopping me? And then number 2, you're always good enough. You're always good enough. Because remember, it wouldn't even come into you wouldn't even conceive it. If
You think it'd be your worst nightmare?
it would be like if you wanted to be on TV
like
or
if they
something.
told
You
us
think,
we had to be a pianist or something.
oh my
it'd be like,
gosh,
no.
yeah, or something you think, God, no, I don't want to go into analytics or something. Do you know what I mean? No,
Computer science.
I don't know. You think, no,
No way.
no way. But
No way,
hosting a
Jose.
show or doing something, yes, that kind of feels natural. Why does it feel natural? And why would you underestimate yourself and think, no, you can't do it?
Exactly.
Just because it feels natural. That
Or
happens a lot
just
of the
because
time.
it's difficult as well, because it is
You
difficult.
say, hey, who's going to make it? Who's 1 out of 100,000?
No, but not even gonna. Sometimes it's difficult. Like for us, it was difficult to figure out the technology, to figure out.
It was
It's
so
hard,
difficult.
and
It was so difficult.
and so many hours. But in the end, it's all worth it because it's what we wanted to do. It's what we want. It's our passion. It's our dream. It's
And you've got to
something
have
that
the
inspires
confidence,
us.
yes,
I
to
think it
share.
inspires you and it makes you feel good when you're doing it. That's already a sign, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that
number
is a
3? No,
sign.
that's not number 3. That's not.
No, number 1. What on earth was it? The thing is, we ramble on, we forget.
Because with numbers, we don't really. We're not that
No.
bothered with them, are we? Let's face
No,
it.
but it's kind of helpful,
The
isn't
3
it, to
things to
remember.
remember. It's good.
We can't remember now ourselves.
Maybe you can come up with a 3rd thing.
No, I think the 3rd thing is to
We are going
remove
to.
negative self-doubt.
Exactly.
Remove that from your... So it is, like what we were saying before, what was it? Number 1?
You're good enough.
You
What's
are-
stopping you?
What's stopping you? And then you are good enough. And then number 3, again, remove that voice that you can hear, saying you can't do it.
The voice that says you can't do
The
it
voice that says you can't
has
do
to
it.
go away.
Yeah, we would say when we were writing, I would just think, God, I don't think this is good enough at times.
Dare to dream.
Yeah, and then I would just say, no, you know what? You inner critic, you can go off and have a cup of tea now and let me do my job because I'm going to do
I think
this.
if it just helps even one person, you have to think.
Yeah, you're doing this for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
even if it's just helping yourself because it makes you feel good. Hey, who is anyone to judge?
If you want to go and do that audition because you have this light inside of you and you know this light is going to shine in this particular form of art or whatever it is, then it's kind of like, we always think it's kind of like our duty to overcome our self-doubt, don't we? Like to think,
overcome any criticism.
we don't like the way we look on video, or no, we can't do
We
that.
don't like the sound of our
no,
voice.
yeah, the
At
sound
the beginning it was hard, wasn't it, when we
hard.
first heard our voices?
Yeah, all of these ideas that you think, no, can't do that, oh my gosh, it's so tiring.
It is.
It's exhausting, isn't it, really? When if you just let go of all
That's
of
what I
it,
mean. Some of that time, that's even harder than actually doing it.
that's much harder than doing it. Do you remember at the beginning? We used to say, gosh, we look horrible on camera, or no, our voices sound awful. I mean, this is what,
You just have
this
to
is the
get
truth.
over that, don't you?
You have to get over it and think, are you of service to yourself and to others?
Yeah.
Is this useful to me or to others? If it is, then just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Exactly.
And you'll enjoy
Just do it and let your light shine, because you are worth it. You do deserve it and you are good enough for
There's
it.
that famous quote by Rudyard Kipling, isn't there? You're only good as your... I can't remember what it was.
You're only as good as you believe you are. Well, kind of, that's it, isn't it?
No, your greatest fear is that you are beyond... I bet you can remember.
No, because you've made me turn my Wi-Fi off for this podcast.
I think it. Well, you'll tell us what it is, or we'll put it in the notes afterwards.
Yeah, we'll put it
because
in the notes.
it's a famous one that basically fear stops you from being really yourself, and who you could be. How you can really let your light shine in the world.
Yes, how you can shine, because you can shine. You can shine it. Even if you're just going, you want to do a volunteer job, but you think, no, I'm not good enough for that, or you need to have this and that experience. No, maybe you don't. Maybe you just go and knock and help and I don't know. You can really make a difference.
Well, her mum, she wanted to be a nurse and she didn't have the qualifications, but in the end she became an auxiliary and she used to love it.
And how much did she help others? She helped them so much. All the patients would call her the angel that would come because she did it from a place of love. She also needed the money.
Yes.
Because we were immigrant children and she worked so hard to, to help us and our dad as well, obviously. But she really did do it from a place of love.
Well, she loved it.
She loved it.
It was hard work, but she loved it.
It was a killer, but yeah. Poor thing. Yeah, I know. That was a lot of sacrifices.
It's a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah, we have come from a family of sacrifices,
Yeah.
Both
Hard
parents
workers.
sacrificed a lot for us. But kind of it makes you appreciate things a lot.
It does.
Now, doesn't it? Yeah.
But they believed in us, didn't they? Whenever we wanted to do anything, they would always
definitely.
say, do it.
Do it, yes. Yeah, they did.
They never said you're not good enough to do that. They'd always say you can do anything.
Well, they
Que
didn't.
bien. I remember Mum always saying, que bien, hija.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
lovely.
she was Spanish. She would just go on, oh, wonderful. Yeah, no matter whatever we said.
It's amazing.
I mean, yeah. I guess that does instill
It helps.
It helps. You would think.
I think we've all got our self-doubts anyway. You all underestimate ourselves. But then on top of that, if you have parents or people that are looking after you that are underestimating you too and putting you down, it's even harder.
It's harder.
Then we suggest you reach out to someone that can help you or watch motivational things and, just learn from other people,
Just
really,
learn
basically.
that now as an adult you can nurture
You can
yourself.
get out of that. You can get out that prison, get out that trap.
Absolutely. Get out of it now because you are good enough. You really are good enough to do it.
And there's nothing stopping you.
There is nothing stopping you except your own fear. Because you might say, yes, there is, because
There's
my
time
dream is
and I
to
haven't
go
got
to
time.
Paris and I haven't got the money and I haven't got this. But think about it.
And when you think about it, it's funny, but the opportunities turn up.
Opportunities arise. It's amazing,
You might get
isn't
a
it?
paid job there or something. Because you start believing in yourself and you start believing it can be possible, and then it's a bit like the law of attraction.
It's
It'll come to
really
you.
weird.
You'll attract it.
You will attract it. Oh, there you go.
Okay. I think that's a wrap
I
again.
think it's a wrap.
It's enough. So let us know how you think, what you think, and what your dreams are, what you'd love to do.
What are you
And do
dreaming
you
about?
find that you underestimate yourself? And if so, try these 3 things.
Yeah, try them. We'll write them down.
We'll write them down. Lots of love
lots
and
of love.
smiles from the
English sisters.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Please follow us and download wherever you get your podcasts, and come and watch us on YouTube too as we do film this.
And join
Bye
the
bye.
family.
Join our
Bye.
family. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.